Um, basically, instead of doing an antique store or a thrift store, we're kind of changing it to an art gallery. So it kind of ended up being I do so much art, so much different art. I ended up doing it basically ends up being my own personal art gallery at this point. I do the antlers with the rosaries. Did that thing right here, the Day of the Dead. What else? Basically everything up here, all the wet specimens. All the rats, locusts, crickets, mini deer hoof. What else? A lot of framed art. I do all that. I just started on these guys this week. I just basically I've been going alley hunting and finding old stuff to repurpose and refinish and recycle. The owl that my friend just brought that in. Right now, a good friend of mine from the Frank's power plant from years ago. He said, "What do you say? He had that in his attic forever. Just gave it to me for free, donation. It might be just be the store mascot at this point. But I think I want to sell that." This was done by a woman, local artist in River West, a schizophrenic woman, and she brought it in, put on consignment, and then she stopped coming to the store. She walked on the other side of the street. Pane glass, antique pane glass that I rescued in the garbage. That's about it. What else? I'm agnostic, so it's kind of, right side up, upside down cross. I'm not trying to do, I got the religious stuff and the anti-religious stuff, trying to do the balance, trying to please both people. So it's such a hot topic, I used to be a construction worker, and the Hispanic people that work there, they call me Wado. They call me the white Mexican because I like all that stuff, and I don't know, like this too, the Matador.
What's up, Mikey?
What's up, man? It's perfect for me. No, it's great. He calls you Pikey. What is that? It's Irish slang, right? He's no comment. He's blur his face. Yeah, we're gonna be cooking out in a minute. Stuff like that.
I was just flying by and I remember seeing that you said you were going to be open today, so
Yeah.
I'm scratching in the new tyres on the bike. So
Oh, yeah?
I'm trying to
Nice. I want to see
go
it.
around and
I just got a local artist just did those, the paper mache.
Awesome.
Realistic eyes. The Betty Page.
oh right.
You see that one?
Yeah. Excellent.
This is pretty good too.
Oh nice.
Yeah, I'll let you look around.
Yeah.
You want music on, off? Chef Ramsay, he always looks right here. My name's Shawn Page. I own Howell House Bazaar and Gallery. So we're gonna go with Howell House Gallery, but we're gonna do Howell House Bazaar. So it encompasses everything. I was a construction worker for years and years, probably 2 decades, and I started selling beer signs and beer tins, and I started selling it out of my house, and people are coming from Chicago, people are coming from Rockford, people are coming from Cudahy to buy my beer tins and beer signs. So I said, well, I can make a go at this. So I started doing, I started a consignment store in Waukesha, and then a friend of mine named George, he came to me and said, how about if I get you your own spot in Bayview? So we did that for a while, and we did strictly antiques, and it just wasn't happening, it wasn't cutting it. So I decided to branch off and do my own thing. He did his thing, and we're really good friends. He's actually my landlord. So I did my own thing in River West, and now I'm back down here. So my parents were, I would say, my mom was a waitress. My dad worked at Harley Davidson. So, suburban life, pretty much. It was nice, easy, fun. And yeah, camping all the time, fishing all the time with my sister and stuff like that. My parents divorced, and my dad moved to 76 in Capitol. So I was not gonna like my stepdad, we'll just say that nicely. And I moved in with him, and I went to Marshall High School, 64th in Capitol. So, and yeah, it was MPS, so it was not, it was just as bad then as it is now. It was a very terrible school. Very, it's a rough school. It's a rough school district, period, in general. It's not easy going to school there. But I did it. I had a 3.8 grade point average before I dropped out. So that's about it. I was a metalhead that was pretty much hated by jocks and hated by. I had red hair, mullet, and I was I'm just as socially awkward as I am now, you know. But yeah, I didn't have many friends at all. I was a definitely introverted artist, and one of those type of people. That's about it. Yeah, I'd say a loner within reason. But then as I grew up, and I got into heavy metal bands, started doing bands, and then that all changed, and tons of friends and craziness and drugs and drinking and just crazy weird stuff. And I was like 16 or 17. We played at a house show on 76th Mill Road, and the band The Motherfuckers basically are like kind of G.G. Allen Jr. Where I mean, it's just like, can I say what they had a song called "Suck My Dick," and his girlfriend would come on stage and suck his dick on stage. They had a 9-year-old kid lighting fireworks off. It was just chaos. I mean, they smashed holes in the ceiling, and it was absolute insanity. I was 17 years old. I didn't know what the hell was even going on. I didn't know if I was seeing words or lyrics in the band I was in. And then from then I went on to do a death metal band called Cyanosis, and meeting all new people and being a part of the big death metal scene that there was back then. So yeah, so I basically, metalhead, punk rocker, into death metal, and then I went from death metal onto hardcore. Metalcore was called. I mean, hardcore is more like Minor Threat, stuff like that, Agnostic Front. But the metalcore we were doing was just metal, with metal with chug parts that people kicked each other and danced around to, and it was very so. But that's kind of like where the death metal the death metal stuff went onto metalcore. And I was like, I was like the oldest in the bunch because there's young guys doing it. So I was older at the time, probably late 20s, early 30s, and doing metalcore. Like I said, it was very political, very outspoken. We were a vegan straight edge band, so it was very PC. We had literature on all the tables, It's open. All our lyrics were about animal rights, women's rights, gay rights, stuff like that. And I was in. Hi, you come in. The bands that we were playing with were they like freed fur farms and lit Hummer plants on fire, bombed McDonald's, like very political. Like their guitar cases, some of their guitar cases they had AKs in them, like they didn't screw around. It got to a point where it turned you off being vegan because no one was vegan enough. So that leads up to me being out of the bands and getting divorced and just going through a rough time in my life. And I joined a motorcycle club, and I don't have to mention the name of it, doesn't matter. But joined a motorcycle club, and that's a whole other chapter of my life, being done with music, and then joining the motorcycle club. That I'm not going to get into. I won't talk about why I didn't want to get into it, but it's fine. It's because the motorcycle clubs that I was involved with got beat up by a flash mob at the the West Dallas Fair. They were beat up by a flash mob by a group of African American kids. When they went to trial, they did not get a hate crime. So it's supposed to be a hate crime, and they said they actually beat up Hispanics. They thought they were white. They were Hispanic, actually. And they called them crackers. They called them racist names, and they didn't get a hate crime. They didn't get a hate crime for it. So we kind of all got together. So that's bogus. So we went down there to protest the fact that these guys are a hate crime. But when we went down there was only two sides. There was Nazi side, and there was a side supporting the mob. So we're like, well, where do we fit in? It just went over like a lead balloon. We went down there, wore shirts, we went there to piss people off, to say, how about I wear a white power shirt? What if I wear a white pride shirt? Let's see what happens. And when we were talking about it, it made sense, and we're like, yeah, this is gonna work. And by 10 minutes into it, it was just failed miserably, and we looked like assholes. We looked like racists, and that's not. And I'm standing there with Hispanic dudes and Mexican dude, and someone dude behind me, and they're wearing the white power shirts just to piss off the crowd. That's what we did. And like I said, the crowd didn't get it. I had no problem, like right now, telling you the story, telling everyone the story about it now, but at the time it was like I said the story so many times, and it was just one of those things where I just felt like the bands that I had been in and the protesting that I had done and the fight for equal rights for everybody, that I didn't have to explain myself. You know what I mean? Like, so what if I wear that shirt? I don't have to explain myself. But now I realize I do, and it's not just because I'm in retail, it's just because I spent my whole life beating up Nazis and fighting for something, to have it all thrown away by going to a protest and making myself look like an idiot. And that's what I did. I threw it all away. And I understand. I completely understand why people don't want to give me a chance. I get it. You know, I've made mistakes in my life. I shouldn't have went to that rally. That's the bottom line. I shouldn't have been there. I fucked up. But that's the bottom line. And if no one's made a mistake in their life, then fine. Then don't judge me. Then you know. But we've all made mistakes. That's the bottom line. And I'm not going anywhere. I'm born and raised in Milwaukee, and I'm going to stay here. So I'm just a very vocal person. You know, I haven't stopped talking for a half hour. I'm vocal. I'm angry. I get hyped up on stuff, and you know.
For the record, I think you're a dick.
I've been called
How
worse.
much you doing those for?
I think they were $3 or $4 too. You know what?
Yeah.
Okay. It was for this place too, right here. This place is awesome. Grassroots. So 10, right?
Yeah.
And then 13's fine. Oh, this thing. You want a bag? I got a bag. You sure? You on the bike? Alright. Don't let the IRS see this. Thanks, man.
Cheers, mate.
I want to see the tires, dude.
What's that?
I want to see those tires.
Yeah, they're awesome. It's a little scary at the moment because it feels like there's so much more round.
Oh, okay.
It feels like it falls into the corner.
Oh, yeah.
You have to hit the throttle to get it
Thanks.
through the corner.
There was 5 motorcycle deaths last week. I don't want to own a motorcycle again after hearing that stuff.
I've
No
said that
thanks.
How many times?
Exactly. All right, brother. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Yeah, there's a secret handshake.
Yeah. Nice, we read it.
All right, man. Be
Yeah,
safe
man.
on that
Take care.
death machine. That's my son, my middle son, Riley, right there. You don't want to be on film? It's one of those things like when you're so passionate about something, it's hard to convey your thoughts. It's like, what are you really passionate about? What gets you up in the morning? What moves you? What? I'm not talking work. I'm not talking girlfriend, boyfriend. I'm talking what drives you. What makes you get up in the morning? What makes you excited to do things? When someone tells you that you're not that, what you know in your heart you are. When someone tells you you're not that thing, but you're this. There's no words for it. You're a stuttering fool, and you look like and I don't know anything but violence. You know, I don't know how to react to things. I'm 40 years old. I still punch holes in walls. And I don't know how I react terrible to things. And on the internet I'm an idiot. You know, I come out, I attack, then I step back and say, okay, hold on, let me cool off, let me think what I said. And that's what gets me in trouble. Thank you guys.
Next.
Everyone.